CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, March 24th, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. There will be no broadcast tomorrow on Good Friday. In Belgium, police are hunting a third man who was filmed with the two suicide bombers at the Brussels airport. They also believe that another suspect might have been involved independently with the bombing at the metro stop that killed 15 people. Evidence is mounting that this is part of the same Islamic State network that was responsible for last November's attacks in Paris. EU ministers are meeting right now in an emergency session trying to improve cooperation between member states. 31 people are confirmed dead, 270 more injured as a result of the terror attacks in Brussels earlier this week. Turkey has accused Belgium of ignoring warnings about one of the terrorists, one of the suicide bombers at the Brussels airport, who apparently was deported from Turkey last year as a suspected foreign fighter in Syria. The airport in Brussels is likely to remain closed until Saturday. Passengers are being diverted to other European airports. Executives from Lloyd's of London took the opportunity this morning at a press conference in which they were discussing their year-end results that were reported on yesterday to make clear their concerns about what would happen if Britain voted to leave the EU. John Parry, Director of Finance at Lloyd's, said that the forthcoming referendum was an issue for Lloyd's and made it clear that the market would prefer for the UK to remain in Europe. He said, "It's better for us if we're in. We at the moment have untrammeled access to the world's largest insurance market that there is in Europe. We're on record as saying that it's better for us if we remain in." However, he added that Lloyd's also has plans for the worst in the event that there is a vote to leave the EU and no central government arrangements have been put in place by London. Two pieces of debris recently discovered on the coast of Mozambique on the eastern coast of Africa are highly likely to have come from the missing Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. This is according to investigators in Australia, where the debris has been sent for examination. The analysis has concluded, said the Transport Minister Darren Chester, that the debris is almost certainly from the Boeing 777 aircraft. The flight disappeared on March 8, 2014, with 239 people on board. It's believed to have crashed somewhere in a remote stretch of the southern Indian Ocean, about 3,700 miles east of Mozambique. Authorities had predicted that any debris that was not on the ocean floor would eventually wash ashore on the east coast of Africa, and that's exactly what's happening. They're still searching for the black boxes. They've searched now about 70% of a very large zone in the Indian Ocean. They expect to complete the search for the remaining 30% by the end of June. If they don't find the black boxes at the end of June, they're not going to find them. A coal mine accident in northern China has killed 19 miners. Chinese media is reporting that an underground platform exploded in a mine in Suzhou City in Shanxi province. The mine is operated by the Shanxi Datong Coal Mine Company. The government said that it's made safety improvements to reduce the number of deaths in mining accidents, and they have. The number of deaths in mining accidents for 2014 was 930. That's a big number, but the number of deaths in mining accidents in 2002 in China was 7,000. Hungary's interior minister is saying that the government wants to limit cell phone calls in the vicinity of any future terror attacks to prevent the overload of communication networks and imperil the communications between rescue workers. That's exactly what happened in Belgium, and it's what happened in Paris in November. The Interior Minister of Hungary said this morning that civilians would be restricted to sending out only text messages, no phone calls. The concept's technical aspects are going to be jointly developed by the government and a communications company. The Hughes Medical Institute, of all things, has scooped up 2,711 additional shares of Renaissance Re. The investment, or the company now owns some 25,000 shares of RenRe Holdings, coming to about $2.8 million, or only about half of 1% of the total portfolio of the Hughes Medical Institute. The impact of low oil prices made headlines in Bermuda insofar as how it affects some shipping routes. If you live on Bermuda, you're an island, so you're acutely conscious of shipping movements. The Royal Gazette always has some very good stories about shipping. What's happening now, apparently, is because of the low cost of oil, some shipping companies are actually routing their vessels around the Cape of Good Hope, the southernmost tip of Africa, rather than sail through the Suez Canal. The shipments usually only include non-perishable items, which oddly enough sometimes include oil itself. During the past year, more than 100 ships have taken the longer route, which is a significant increase in traffic. Economics is the primary reason for the change. Sailing through the Suez Canal incurs a number of fees and charges. In normal circumstances, that works out. But if the 3,500-mile detour around Africa is going to prove economically sensible, oil prices have to be low. As long as they remain between $30 or $40 a barrel, it remains low enough for companies to do this. Once you factor in the savings from not having to worry about additional insurance and security costs associated with piracy concerns from sailing through the Gulf of Aden, sailing around the Cape of Good Hope and not through the Suez Canal becomes positively economically attractive, especially if there's low oil costs. One industry observer in Bermuda said the ships which are making the extended voyage around the Cape are mainly bulk carriers with not very time-sensitive cargoes. The additional time it takes to take that route instead of going through the Suez is affordable. When compared to high fees levied by the Canal Authority, it does start to make a lot of sense. And then he went on to say, for ships which would usually have to go straight through the Indian Ocean or even up and down the east coast of Africa, there's another mitigating factor, and that's by going around the Cape, you don't have to take out insurance protection against piracy. Have a happy Easter. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you for watching. Bye.